What's up, Afterbuzz? I'm Katie Campbell here with my lovely co-host, Mikaela, and we are talking to the talented Mark Sheppard. How are you?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I have to say that I'm a person who goes to church, but I am having a difficult time because you're the king of hell and I kind of want to be your best friend.
I can understand the dichotomy there.
You have great one-liners.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Crowley, we always talk about it, and I'm sure the fans do too. We always say how Crowley has some of the best one-liners. Speaking of one-liners, do you ever get to kind of somewhat collaborate with the writers of what Crowley says? Or is it just literally, you get the script and you go for it?
We have a wonderful team of writers, absolutely amazing team of writers. For the last 6 years have been putting words in Crowley's mouth. And I think there's a bit of a fight over who gets to do it on occasion, which is a lot of fun. They really do enjoy it. And as I said, some great things to say. And this is the occasional one, which is mine. There's the occasional thing that pops up. You're good, but I'm Crowley. I've been credited with. That was mine. But, it's easy to do once you've got writers who are that good. It tends to be whatever comes out of your mouth sort of fits what it is that they've written already. So
yeah, and you definitely grab that bond between the writers and the character for yourself. So you kind of can then know where the character would go with it. Would you agree?
Yes,
okay.
I would, definitely. Where are you from?
Australia.
Where?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Been to Melbourne. Like
oh,
Melbourne.
Did you like it?
I like Melbourne a lot.
Yeah.
Chinatown's good.
And obviously you're from England.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a slight hint there with the accent.
As far as season 10 has been going, we've seen a lot of Crowley and Dean relationship. How do you feel about your character taking it there and becoming that relationship with the Winchester brother?
So the bromance, you're discussing the bromance.
The bromance. I loved it.
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, we're having to reevaluate a lot of what's going on. Crowley's having to reevaluate a lot of what's going on. And, whether he wants to, how do we put this? Whether he wants to continue with his job and, where he is in his relationship with Dean and whether he's really sort of interested in continuing what he's doing. And it's been very interesting. But I don't know that any relationship is over until Crowley says it's over. So.
Yeah. I don't think it's over either.
No.
I hope it's not over. And I'm sure the fans would agree they hope it's not over. We love those moments, especially us in the Supernatural After Show at Afterbuzz. We love those moments. We're like, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. So we ship the Dean and Crowley bromance.
Shipping threads. We always love the shipping threads. But it's nice. He's so much fun to play with, and we have a lot of fun things to do. And again, it comes down to the writers just enjoying creating this stuff for us.
And I really enjoyed the scenes where you're looking back at pictures, and I think those are the greatest scenes. How does your character really feel? I mean, we see him having these flashbacks, and we see him looking at the pictures, but how do you feel as Crowley?
How do I feel as Crowley?
Does Crowley feel?
As little as possible. I think it's been a problem since the end of season 8, where he's sort of encountering his human side. So, and I think there's some circumstances and situations that are coming up in season 10. We're sort of about halfway through filming right now, but there will be some things that are coming up which will make him reevaluate even more what it is that he's doing.
Speaking of, touching on the subject of more of Crowley's human side, last season, the very last episode, season 9, we saw Crowley, and Sam right there, and Sam trying to kind of always make you, throw you back. And how was it, I guess I want to ask you, acting more that humanity kind of side of Crowley compared to the average, witty, charming, but yet devilishly Crowley? What was the difference showing that more human side of Crowley for you, the process of the acting?
You mean the end of season 8?
Yeah.
Yes. You actually mean the end of season 8,
yes.
Which is the human blood and the singing
so
and the girl. You said season 9.
Okay.
But the end of season 8, the end of season 8 and the end of season 9 are both wonderful finales. But the end of season 8 was an extraordinary experience. It was... we actually shot it in sequence. They were kind enough to let us shoot it in sequence. So usually when you make television, stuff's shot out of order. You shoot the end first or you shoot something else. But it was all of us together it was actually on stage. They built that little church in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't exist. And then they built the interior of it on stage, and we spent 3 days in there for all the Abaddon stuff, all the rest of that stuff. And then this amazing breakdown that we did that was just so much fun to do. And it's just a great feeling knowing that the crew is there for you all the time, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I thought it was some of the best stuff we've done. And when you put it in the context of the actual show, you go back, if you go back and watch the end of season 8, it's incredibly packed. I mean, what is going on with Metatron? What's going on with the angels? What's going on with heaven? it's just amazing stuff. And doing that is when you become really grateful and aware that this is kind of a special show. This is a show that in its 8th season then, going into its 9th season then, certainly had not lost its legs or lost its interest. And proof now is as we go into season 10, we have a new audience, a wonderful new audience. As 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds going, I love the show. I've seen every episode. You're going, you didn't watch it when it was new. And then, no, it's with the advent of the different delivery systems we have, from Netflix to all the other delivery systems that now exist, which didn't really exist 10 years ago. We didn't have those options 10 years ago. It now makes a massive difference. You can now binge watch Supernatural and jump in and see the stuff. And we're blown away by the fact that there is a whole new audience. There's a whole wonderful new audience.
And as far as, we touched on the humanizing part of Crowley, you've been the King of Hell, you've been best friends with Dean. What is your favorite aspect of Crowley to play?
Well, I think the most fun about Crowley is that he sort of believes he's the last sane man in the universe. I mean, there's a lot of threads of different characters that I played that are like that. And I've always enjoyed that. It's this idea that there's something going on that you lot don't know about, but you'll eventually work it out. Mm-hmm. He never loses. He always knows what's going on.
He does.
It's pretty much the way it goes.
He's always 10 steps ahead of the Winchester Bros.
The other thing, you didn't know I was this tall, did you? On the show, I look so short.
I mean, I'm tiny anyway, so anyone's taller than me.
But on this show, everybody's like up there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Jared's like 6'4", right?
If you say so.
If I say so, okay.
As far as you being 10 steps ahead, where did you hide that blade?
That blade?
Spill.
As in the first blade?
Yes.
Ooh, I think actually, are you going to find out? I don't know. Maybe you'll find out. Maybe you will or you won't find out.
Just teasing us.
Maybe you will or you won't.
Speaking of teasing us, you've kind of have gone on the record, like about a week ago, I think, in various interviews, saying that season 10 is a riot and that there's a lot more to expect. Can you tell us anything about what we can expect from Crowley?
I don't know that I ever said it was a riot.
Oh, I've been
Close.
quoted.
I like that. But I wish I had. It's kind of a good phrase. A riot. A riot can mean many things.
That's true.
What's going on with Crowley? As I said, a reevaluation is the biggest deal. It's there's a lot of sort of soul searching. Let's put it that way. It's an interesting time. It's a great season. It's a lot of fun to do. It's we've been so blessed with the idea of the first 5 seasons were a story that Kripke had that he managed to fulfill, which is a fantastic thing to do. And then Sarah had the unenviable task of having to reinvent it to make it go forwards. And I thought 6 was an amazing season, and 7 is a very, there's some wonderful parts of 7. But it's a very difficult ship to steer. And then we come back round to Jeremy taking back over at 8, and it's sort of returned to its roots in a way, I think, in a lot of ways, which without Sarah it wouldn't have been able to. Yeah. So it's been this fantastic journey, and that 8 and 9 are these really solid, re-explorations of what the brothers are and what they mean. Yeah. And 10 now is
10 years,
it's gravy.
Episodes. It's a milestone. Gravy. Congratulations too.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah. Are we gonna be able to reinvent and do another 5?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it went on longer than you expect, because I think it's actually getting better in some ways. I think there's some aspects of it are getting better. As long as we care about the Winchesters, it's a great show to watch. If we don't care about them, then it's not going to be something we're going to watch, is it?
I'm not ready for it to end.
That's a lovely thing to say. You tell them that.
Okay. I'm not ready for it to end, okay? And I also wanted to ask you, I heard that you're joining the panel in WalesCon. Is that correct?
I don't know which panel I'll be on, but I'm there.
But you're in attendance,
yes,
correct?
I'm going to be attending the WalesCon, yes.
Right, and your kind of co-star from Supernatural, Elena Huffman, who's famous for Abaddon, you guys, she'll be joining you. Are you excited? Is this your first time you'll be joining at WalesCon and attending? Are you excited for it?
It's the first time I've done anything in Wrexham, but obviously I shot Doctor Who in Cardiff, right. and I've been to Wales many times. Oh, wow, there goes the air conditioning.
Oh. He's that hot in here because he's the king of hell.
Wow.
That's why that happened.
That's loud. But the Elena's wonderful. I love Elena. I've known Elena for a very, very, very long time, and I was just so happy that she got to play Abaddon. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying that.
Awesome.
Is there any advice you would give to people that want to pursue acting?
Don't.
Very
I don't-
reassuring.
Why not? Why not?
You don't pursue it. I mean, it's a weird thing. It's not a job. It's not a job. I don't know. I mean, wouldn't discourage anybody from following their heart, but it is about following your heart. And the pitfalls of doing anything that you love is one of the pitfalls is that you may not make a living at it, and you may not get to do it. But you trying to turn that off?
Well, that's probably most of the
'Cause
realistic.
you won't be able to use any of this.
I can hear you.
You
could
can?
give.
All right. There you go.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that was probably some of the most realistic advice you could give, because you're not.
But I can say,
completely-
I know what I'm saying, but like, to be a starting out actor now is just such a tough thing to do. It's not a job. It's not a job in any sense. It's not something you can pick as a career and then go, well, then this leads to this, leads to this. It doesn't work that way. And with anything that you care about or you love, anything that you follow your heart in, it's an incredible blessing to be rewarded, to be allowed to do it.
Right.
And to be paid for it is ridiculous. I mean, it's amazing. But to say to someone who wants career advice in it, it's like, yeah, don't do it. Get a real job. Pay the bills. It's much more interesting. Get an education is the first thing you should do. Get an education so that when you aren't getting paid for it, at least you can have a decent job to support yourself. It's a tough life. It's incredibly rewarding. I love every minute of it. I do what I love, which is a blessing in and of itself. I was a musician before I was an actor. I love to play music. I love to tell story. I love to be part of telling story. And, it's a sacred thing. That's one of the oldest arts in the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you working on any other projects right now other than, Supernatural?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, man.
Nothing.
I can never tell anybody anything. Whatever I do is usually sort of integral to plot in some ways. It's like, I had to lie about who, I had to lie about Battlestar, I had to lie about a lot of things because they were all sort of big plot stuff. And
Right.
you know what? The surprise is fun. You'll see me. I don't think I'm going away anywhere.
So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to see you back.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for that moment.
See me back?
On to Supernatural.
What episode are you on?
Well,
Like 5?
episode 5
Yeah,
just aired,
I
so-
wanted to see you in the fan fiction, but we didn't get to.
I think
but-
you.
There was somebody dressed as me there.
There was that in the play.
I was jealous. It was a great episode. It was a really. So that's two episodes I'm jealous of. I'm jealous of that episode. I love the way that I loved Dean in that episode. I think it's a really great Dean episode.
Yeah.
And the girls were just brilliant. They were just wonderful. It's another one I'm jealous of. French Mistake and that. It's like there's a few. Maybe they'll let me be in the 300th.
There you
Yes.
go. That's the goal. 300 episodes. Well, thank you, Mark, for joining us here at Afterbuzz TV. Thank you for the interview.
Yes.
Supernatural fans, check out everything. Stay tuned.